Alright, today folks, we're going to learn about buying IOTA. Now IOTA is Internet of Things application, as you know, and it is slightly different from Bitcoin and Ethereum in the sense that it uses a different technology known as tangle. And this is a new technology which is considered as a better technology compared to Bitcoin. However, IOTA is not a mining coin. It is still considered as the purpose of IOTA is different. It is mostly used for Internet of Things, and it is used for communicating between machines. So as the Internet of Things grows, when that market grows, IOTA will grow along with it. So unlike Bitcoin, which is mostly uh, challenging the fiat currency, IOTA is not challenging the fiat currency because IOTA is can be made as much as possible, and IOTA is not dependent on sort of controlling the overall number of coins that you make. So Bitcoin is more about limiting the total quantity of coins. There are only 21 million Bitcoins that can be mined, but IOTA is a different concept where it is not about mining, it is more about the Internet of Things market. Having said that, IOTA is also traded in the coin market cap exchange. So it is also exchanged and traded in every place right now. And it is one of the hottest topics of buying any cryptocurrency. So without further ado, let's jump into buying, holding and selling of IOTA. I'm going to explain this in 3 steps. Step number 3 is buy. So to buy IOTA, you have to first buy Bitcoin. Now to buy Bitcoin, you have to go to any of the sites. The recommended site I would say is CEX, which is a Bitcoin buying site. Go to that site, click here, and you will have to go and open an account there. When you open an account, they will ask you to add your bank details. Add that details. Once you've added the details of your bank account, it will allow you to transfer money from your bank account to this site, and then you can buy that Bitcoin from that site. You can also buy Ethereum, which is also another kind of cryptocurrency. Ethereum and Bitcoin are the top 2 famous cryptocurrencies. So let us call that amount that you bought as X. So you bought X amount of Bitcoin or X amount of Ethereum. Now we will learn about exchanging that X into IOTA. Remember, when you buy Bitcoin, you don't have to buy one Bitcoin. You can also buy 0.00001 Bitcoin, or you can also buy 0.0001 of Ethereum. The reason I say that is because Bitcoin is currently trading at $12,000 or $15,000. Now you might not have that amount of money to buy a Bitcoin for $15,000. So you can buy a small quantity of that. If you want to buy something even smaller than Bitcoin in terms of the money that you spend from your pocket, then Ethereum is not traded as high as Bitcoin, so you can invest in Ethereum. So let's call that amount that you bought as X. Okay. Now we will go to another site where I will explain to you how to convert this Ethereum or Bitcoin, in this particular context X, to Y, which would be basically IOTA. So here is an exchange. This is an example of an exchange. This is called the Binance exchange, and the exchange is basically a place where you can go and exchange your money. So it's like any money exchange. Let's say you got dollars and you want to convert that into rupees, or let's say you got Chinese yuan, you want to convert that into dollars. You go to a local exchange shop and he takes your dollars, he charges a small fee, and he gives you the equivalent amount of money or whatever, right? So similarly, this is an online exchange site where you can go and put your X amount of Bitcoin and you can buy a Y amount of IOTA. So this is the site address, www.binance.com. It's a very famous site, so you don't have to worry about this site. You can go and purchase IOTA in this site. Here you would exchange that X amount and buy an equivalent quantity of Y amount of IOTA. Now once you have to of course also create an account here. So they will ask you for some details like your identification number, probably your passport and your yeah, license and all of those details. It's self-explanatory. When you go into the site, they will tell you. It's a 10 to 15-minute process of creating an account, and once you create an account, it automatically comes, you can automatically start using it. So what you do is you go and exchange your X amount of IOTA into a Y amount of, so X amount of Bitcoin into a Y amount of IOTA. Now you can keep that amount in Binance, no problem. It will remain within your account in the Binance site. There's no problem with that. Sometimes the exchanges are getting hacked, but that really shouldn't bother you, because that should really be botheration for individuals who are trading in a very large amount of Bitcoins and Ethereum. If you are only starting to trade, then, and because I'm making this video only for the beginners, you don't have to worry about anything else. Just keep your money in Binance, okay, and forget about it, and you can sell it when you want to sell. Now last step of course is to sell this particular IOTA you have, or Bitcoin that you have in Binance. So here is the last step. Here you go, so let's say you have Y amount of IOTA in your Binance account. Now when it is appropriate for you to sell, go to Binance and sell IOTA. So selling could be based on your preference. You can hold IOTA for 1 year, you can hold it for 5 years, or 6 months. It's all up to you. But once you decide that you want to sell your IOTA, go to the site, okay, and here you can sell it. Now remember, IOTA is not directly exchanged with any other, is not directly not converted to money. So you have to first convert this back to Bitcoin, and then that Bitcoin has to be exchanged. So first you go to the site, convert this IOTA back to Bitcoin or Ethereum, and let's call that amount as Z, okay, and you can then, so Z of course would, so let's say you bought Bitcoin for 100 rupees and you are now selling that for 200 rupees. So your profit is 100 rupees of course. So that is the profit that you're getting here. Now that profit amount, when you want to put it back into your bank, you have to go to a local player, one of the local players, because they are authorized to interact with your bank in terms of putting money into your bank. So this is a good website. It's called ZepPay. You can also go to Unicorn, but ZepPay is a very famous website. It is for beginners and it is a mobile only website. You can go and take, so when I say go and take your X and Y and Z, what I mean is that with every transaction you will get a code. It will be a alphanumeric code, and it would be a 16-letter code. Now that code is very important. You can use that code, you can write it down, or you can keep it in a safe place. Whenever you want, you can go to ZapPay, put that code, and it will convert that money into your local currency. So you sell that amount here, okay. Remember, you can only sell Bitcoin and Ethereum in such sites. They don't accept any other coins. So sell your Bitcoin here, and then you can move that amount back to your account. So you have made a profit in terms of buying, converting it into Bitcoin, and going to an exchange, buying equivalent amount of IOTA for that, keeping that money in your exchange in Binance, coming back to Binance, selling that amount back to Bitcoin by making some profit, and then using ZapPay to convert it back to your bank account. Now obviously if you don't want to deal with IOTA, if you don't only want to deal with Bitcoin, then you don't have to follow this, the in-between step. You can simply go and exchange Bitcoin here also. So that is the beauty of only trading with Bitcoin. But this video was specifically made for people who want to trade in IOTA. So with that, I want to say thank you and have a good day.